Government reduces age limit from 55 to 40 years for corona vaccine registration, effective from today. Cabinet gives final approval to the draft of Child Day Care Centre Act 2021. Cross-section of people, including professionals of all over the country, take corona vaccine on second day of vaccination program. At least 14 dead and more than 150 people missing as avalanche strikes in India's Uttarakhand. And in Chennai Test, India need 381 more runs to win against England on last day. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Shongit Ahmed, welcoming you all to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre. You've just heard the headlines and now on to the rest of the news. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina called upon all to wear face masks and wash hands even after taking the COVID-19 vaccine. The Prime Minister made the call speaking on the overall management of vaccination activities at the weekly cabinet meeting in Dhaka this morning. In her speech, the Premier directed the concerned authorities to reset the minimum age limit on registration for COVID vaccine to 40 and make the registration process easier. Sheikh Hasina said she already directed the Health and Family Welfare Ministry to relax the minimum age limit on registration for taking corona vaccine to 40 instead of 55 to expand the vaccination coverage.
Second dose আছে হচ্ছে ওটা বোধহয় 8 থেকে 12 সপ্তাহ টাইম নিতে পারে। লন্ডনে তো ওরকমই দিচ্ছে, তো ওটা হিসাব করে 15 দিনেই নিতে হবে তা না, 1 মাস 2 মাস বা 3 মাস পর্যন্ত এটার এফেক্ট থাকে, সেকেন্ড ডোজ নেওয়া যায়। তবে আমরা চাচ্ছি একটু আর্লি সেকেন্ড ডোজটা দিয়ে দেওয়া, 1 মাস থেকে 1.5 মাসের মধ্যে সেকেন্ড ডোজ দিয়ে এগুলি তাড়াতাড়ি শেষ করা। সবাইকে মাস্কটা ব্যবহার করতে হবে, মাস্ক ব্যবহার করা, হাত ধোয়া এটা অব্যাহত রাখতে হবে। এটা মনে করলে হবে না যে আমি টিকা নিচ্ছি আর কি আমি একদম সেফ বাস আর আমার কিছু করতে হবে সেটা না, তবে সাবধানে থাকতে হবে।
Meanwhile, the Cabinet today approved the draft of the Child Daycare Centre Bill 2021 to support children of working women as the number of nuclear families is increasing day by day. The approval came at the regular Cabinet meeting held virtually with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in the chair. The Cabinet also approved a proposal to stop production of harmful veterinary drug ketoprofen to save endangered vultures. It also approved the draft of Bankers Book Evidence Act 2021. Cabinet Secretary Khondokar Anwarul Islam briefed the journalists after the meeting. He said the Cabinet approved the meeting and ratified the draft of an agreement signed between Bangladesh and Morocco for avoidance of double taxation and prevention of fiscal evasion. The report on implementation of the decisions of the Cabinet taken between October to December of 2020 was presented at the meeting. First Vice-Chancellor of newly established Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman University in Kishoreganj, Professor Dr. Z.M. Parvez Sajjad called on President Mohammad Abdul Hamid at Bangabhavan this evening. Later in a briefing, the President's Press Secretary Mohammad Jainal Abidin told that during the meeting, the Vice-Chancellor informed the President about plans and programs to be implemented for the new university. Congratulating the newly appointed Vice-Chancellor, President Abdul Hamid said, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman University, established in Kishoreganj, will play an important role for higher education in the country, especially in the Haur area. The President urged the Vice-Chancellor to select departments keeping pace with the times so that the students can face the upcoming challenges. The President asks the Vice-Chancellor to ensure quality of infrastructure development of the new university. President Abdul Hamid stressed on ensuring education-friendly environment for the students and taking steps so that they can know about the Great Liberation War. During the meeting, the Vice-Chancellor sought the President's cooperation in implementing the plans and activities of the new university. The President's Office Secretary, Shampod Borua, Military Secretary, Major General S.M. Salauddin Islam, and Secretary attached to the President's Office, Muhammad Wahidul Islam Khan, were present during the meeting. The countrywide coronavirus vaccination continued for the second day today. Cabinet members, Chief Election Commissioner, along with people from different walks of life have taken shots in the capital today. Deputy Minister for Water Resources, A.K.M. Enamul Haq Shamim, has taken vaccine at National Institute of Cardiovascular Diseases and Hospital. People from different classes and professions have also received shots there. Food Minister Shadhan Chandra Mojumdar and Food Secretary Dr. Mosammad Nazwanara Khanum have also received vaccine today at TB Hospital at Agargaon in the capital. Later, the Food Minister called on all to take vaccine. Meanwhile, Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda, State Minister for Shipping Khaled Mahmood Chaudhary, and Saumyabadi Dol General Secretary Dilip Borua have taken COVID-19 jabs. Cooperatives Minister Mohammad Tajul Islam at the Secretariat in Dhaka today. During discussion meeting titled Bangabandhu Cholochitro Bangladesher Cholochitro at Kolkata Press Club in India today. Information Ministry, in cooperation with the Office of Bangladesh Deputy High Commissioner in Kolkata, organized the discussion marking the birth centenary of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and the Golden Jubilee of the country's independence. Information Secretary Khaza Mia also spoke on the occasion. The State Minister for Information said daughter of Bangabandhu, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, has taken various initiatives for the development of the country's film industry.
আরো সুদৃঢ় করবে এই কারণে আমাদের আজকের আয়োজনের মধ্য দিয়ে আমি মনে করি যে এই যে আমাদের শাশ্বত কালের যে সম্পর্ক হাজার বছরের যে ইতিহাস সেই ইতিহাসের বন্ধনকে সুদৃঢ় করবে আমাদের আজকে এই যে তৃতীয় বাংলাদেশ চলচ্চিত্র উৎসব যেটি এই কলকাতার মাটিতে অনুষ্ঠিত হচ্ছে এর মধ্য দিয়ে
তো আমরা বাঙালি ওইবার হোক এইবার হোক যতটুকু যা আছে আমরা ভাগ করে নিতে পারি এই ভাগ করে নেওয়াটা আমাদের যেমন সামান্য পানি আছে দিদি বলেন যে পানি নাই দেব কোত্থেকে পানি নাই ঠিক আছে দিদি এক কলস আছে আমাকে আধাটা দাও না
Development of the country's film industry. Deputy High Commissioner of Bangladesh to India, Tawfiq Hassan, chaired the discussion. It was also attended by former Vice-Chancellor of Rabindra Bharati Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. Pabitra Sarkar. Film Director Gautam Ghosh, Bangladesh Press Minister to India, Shaban Mahmood, and senior officials of the Information Ministry. Early in the morning, State Minister for Information Dr. Murad Hassan and Information Secretary Khaza Mia placed floral wreaths at the sculpture of Bangabandhu installed at the Bekar Hostel of Islamia College in Kolkata. They also offered munajat, seeking divine blessings for the departed souls of the martyrs of Liberation War in 1971 and Bangabandhu and other martyrs of August 15 in 1975. Later, the State Minister for Information and Information Secretary and members of the entourage visited the room of Bekar Hostel in where Bangabandhu lived during his college life. 16 COVID-19 patients died in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll from the pandemic to 8,221. The recovery count rose to 4,83,931 after another 559 recovered during the period. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services confirmed this today. The tally of the infections rose to 5,38,378 with 316 new cases. And now we'll go for a break. We'll be back in a short while.
করোনাভাইরাসের টিকা দেয়া
So far, 14 bodies were recovered. The floodwaters burst open a dam and a deluge of water poured through a valley in the state of Uttarakhand. Villages have been evacuated, but officials warn that more than 125 people may have been caught in the torrent. Video showed the floodwater barreling through the area, leaving destruction in its wake. One witness said a wall of the water and rock sped down the Dhauli Ganga river so quickly that there was no time to sound the alarm. One witness compared the flash flood to a scene from a Bollywood film. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat said 125 people were confirmed missing so far, but that number could rise. 7 bodies have been recovered from the site and rescue operations are going on, Mr. Singh Rawat told reporters at a briefing on Sunday. Most of those missing were workers at the 2 power projects swept away by the deluge. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he is monitoring the situation. Police in Myanmar's capital, Nay Pyi Taw, have used COVID-19 global death toll reaches 23,28,000 with new 7,819 deaths. More than 10,67,65,000 are infected globally and more than 7,84,60,000 people have recovered so far. The U.S., the current epicenter of the pandemic, has now 2,76,12,000 confirmed cases and 4,74,000 deaths. The country reported 1,340 deaths yesterday. And now the latest news on sports. India need 381 runs more to win the first test of the 4-match series in Chennai against England in the 5th and final day tomorrow. India scored 39 runs for 1 wicket, chasing the victory target of 420 runs at stumps of day 4 in their second innings. Earlier, India started their 4th day's batting with the overnight score of 257 runs for 6. The hosts were all out on 337 runs in their first innings. England scored 178 runs in their second innings and 578 runs in their first innings. And before we end tonight's bulletin, another look at the headlines. The government reduces age limit from 55 to 40 years for corona vaccine registration effective from today. The Cabinet gives final approval to the draft of Child Daycare Centre Act 2021. A cross-section of people, including professionals of all over the country, take corona vaccine on second day of vaccination program. At least 14 dead and more than 150 people missing as avalanche strikes in India's Uttarakhand. And in Chennai Test, India needed 381 more runs to win against England on last day. And that's all from us for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and our next news at 11:30. Do join us again. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.